Okay, welcome. And we thought we would begin with the Navajo Beauty Way chant, which is used in their ceremonies. And it's really speaking to the harmony, the peace that happens within that then we can see all around us. And so, for those of you who know it, we'll just say it through twice because it's pretty easy, but we'll say the whole thing through
And
twice.
why are we doing this with?
I just said,
But this morning.
we'll find out.
Okay.
It'll make sense when we go into what we're doing. Okay. I walk with beauty before me. I walk with beauty behind me. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty all around. As I walk the beauty way, may all my thoughts be beautiful, ho. May all my words be beautiful, ho. May all my actions be beautiful, ho. As I walk the beauty way. And we'll say it one more time. I walk with beauty before me. I walk with beauty behind me. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty all around me. As I walk the beauty way, may all my thoughts be beautiful, ho. May all my words be beautiful, ho. May all my actions be beautiful, ho, as I walk the beauty way. May it be so. So today, as we explore the next card, which is the Six of Cups. The six is going, if you remember in the fives, it was about change and conflict. And so you come into the sixes, a round number, and it totally shifts again. So now this is about alignment. It's about coming into harmony and getting help when help is needed. So I thought I'd start with the Six of Cups first. It is probably the one that has probably the most pieces of like working with and getting a little bit more help. This is working with that inner child that sometimes that can be thought of as the soul child, the one to free up that part inside of us that has that innocence from our youth. And so in this card, she is remembering or having a connection to her, this soul child, this younger part of herself. And this soul child has both memories of joy, innocence, and just the awe and wonder, which is amazing because it's seeing things for the first time. But it also carries with it trauma and difficulties that we also continually play out in our lives. And so this card tells us that when things keep reoccurring, to go back and to understand what it was to come in relationship, into right relationship with those experiences that are arising. And that's the hozo, the beauty way, the harmony. That's what the Navajos speak to. So that's why I use the beauty way chant to start with today. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, it's interesting because, if you do the cards up and reversed, the upright version of this is really the purity of the soul child, the innocence and the wonder, and the reversed is when there are hurt or traumatic or neglected parts that need to be addressed. And the other is, if you just look, it's so beautiful, there's the white rose. And if you take just a moment to let that impression of the white rose in, you just breathe it in for a breath or two. Maybe even close your eyes and just imagine that white rose, perhaps the white rose in your heart. You can sort of begin to feel, as we spend time with that, the quality of the white rose that the symbol points to, or qualities, the experience. But it's interesting, in Dante's Divine Comedy, the last in the Paradiso is God, the source, is represented as a white rose.
Mm.
And each petal is, I believe, a different being, a different angel, or just all of a presence. And so the white rose is really representing the one, the only being, just what the mystery is. So it's such a beautiful, and there's the soul child really being embraced and held in the oneness, because the soul child is so close to the source, to essence. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so right next to it are the, if you want to copy that down to remember it, that's what we'll be singing in the movement part of the soul work today. Tuv we hun, la wile, dihanon, net bayun. So that's from the Aramaic version of the Beatitudes, the second Beatitude of Yeshua. And this is translated by Sadi Neil Douglas Klotz, and his version of it is so totally different. It's usually translated, "Blessed are those who mourn," and he said that it was really, that's the problem when they went from Aramaic, which is the language Yeshua would have spoken, into Greek, into Latin, all these different languages. They really lost the flavor of what Yeshua was trying to say. So it's the correct one of the correct would be more like ripening. That's what tubwe hun means. Tubwe hun. It's ripening. It's a ripening arrives to those who consciously breathe into the well of their confusion and grief. So this is allowing all those parts of us that have some kind of confusion or grief to come up. They shall feel themselves surfacing again with clarity. And the last one that gets pushed out that you can't see it is joy. So it's like the promise that if you allow yourself to just be with those parts, you will find clarity and joy.
And it's that quality of breathing in, that's conscious self, breathing, bringing your conscious, loving, compassionate awareness to all that wellspring that we all have of joy and mystery, with the card upright or hurt and wounded. It's important to breathe in to the joy and mystery and innocence and wonder that lets us resource, so then we can hold the parts that are wounded. Just getting up there for...
We will have it both. So, but we're going to start a little bit with the water breath. And that's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth through pursed lips. And because the water is the cups card, and the water is how we start in the womb as a fetus. And so what I really want us to do is just start with kind of like, we're going to hold our bodies and sway in that watery imaginings of what it was like when we first began this world, as that young fetus. That was really meeting and greeting the world through that environment of the water in the womb, the amniotic sac. So just letting our body feel what that feels like, to just be in that little constant motion, because when you're in water, you cannot just be still. The water is always moving just a little tiny bit. The jostling of the mother. So as we kind of go into that rhythm of the water, we're going to start with the beginning of the senses and how we know the world. So we know first through the sense of touch, and it's literally the touch of the water against the skin. So we can rub our bellies, we can rub any part of our body, especially that doesn't have any clothes on, so that you can really feel that skin to skin contact, which is what babies so desire. It's how they know the world. Continuing to breathe deep, rich, full breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feeling that soothing of the touch of our own bodies, our hands against our bodies. Closed against our bodies. And how nice that feels. Use the kind of touch that feels good. Whatever that is for you. And as you're doing that touch, begin to also notice the sounds around you, even as you're touching. Bring in the hearing, the infant's first sounds with a heartbeat. That rhythm is often beat out by the drum. And then add smell, because they love to smell. That's how they know their mother. Smell your hands, your arm, the room. And begin to taste. Let your tongue move all around your mouth. Tasting what's in your mouth with that touching of your tongue. Another way of touching. And then gently open your eyes, only letting yourself see more like the colors and the shapes rather than actually naming the forms. Imagine it through the eyes of an innocent child who doesn't even know yet what these are called or what it is. It's all just an amazing panoply of colors, shapes, different sizes. Smelling with each breath in. Letting all the senses come out. And then closing your eyes back again and letting yourselves come back into that watery place of just feeling the inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. I'm really just giving thanks to our bodies right now for the huge stages they've been through, from fetus to infant, toddler, young child, middle-aged child, and then into adolescence, finally into an adult. And as we give thanks, we're also going to be aware that we have both, as Raphael was talking about, encoded in the cells of our body. You can just move as I speak, in through the nose, out through the mouth, feeling that watery element all around you. Remembering that we're encoded with all of our good memories, all of the difficult memories, all of the trauma. It's all there. But we're going to invite, first of all, anything that might have been confusing, kind of created grief, stuckness in our bodies. We're going to sing that beatitude, the second beatitude of Yeshua, to each of our different body parts, and especially in any of the joints. So we're going to start and we're going to sing it to our ankles, as we turn our ankles one way and then we'll turn them another. So we'll sing the song about halfway through, we'll turn it the other way. So, and we'll do then the other ankle. And I'll be speaking to you a little bit, but I'm also going to sing it. Tu fue hu la we lay. Let those ankles turn and unwind. Hanon met by you. Other ankle. Fue hu la we lay. Di hanon met by you. And then letting yourself hum it to them. And then bring them energy with touch. Coming up to our knees. Tu fue hu la we lay. Letting your knee turn one way. Did hanon net by you. And then the other way. Other leg. Tu fue hu la we lay. Did hanon net by you. And two knees together. Tu fue hu la we lay. Did hanon net by you. And then humming to them. And just being aware as we hum of any trauma or difficulties we had with feeling we were not supported. It might come up in our ankles or in our knees. And giving energy to our knees with a touch. Coming up into our legs and our hips. Fue hu la we lay. One way, the other. Hanon net by you. Turning. And then the other leg. Tu fue hu la we lay. Did hanon net by you. And the whole hip. Tu fue hu la we lay. Did hun the other way. Hun net by you. And we're humming to it. Recognizing that this is the area of our genitals, our bottoms, letting all of these awarenesses come in as we're gently just allowing whatever's there to come up. One more time. And then holding it, giving it energy. Wherever energy is needed in that area. And coming up into our solar plexus. La we lay. Did hanon net by you. Letting it unwind one way and then the other. Tu fue hu la we lay. any way that we didn't feel like we were really encouraged with our own power, with our own expression of manifestation. And then holding it. Coming up to our shoulders. Tu fue hu. Letting the shoulders turn. Lay. Diheno net bayun. And then into the elbows and the wrists. Fue hu la we lay. Diheno net bayun. And then humming to it. Holding any way that we weren't allowed to reach out, or accidents we may have had. And up into our neck, and our heads, we lay, letting our neck turn. Hano net bayun. Tu fue hun la we lay. Dihano net bayun. Humming. And then holding it. Any parts that couldn't speak up, parts that were slapped. Now into the heart. Hun la we lay. Diheno net bayun. Letting it unwind. Tu fue hun la we lay. Diheno net bayun. And humming to it. This time holding it. To the whole body. Tu fue hun la we lay. Diheno net bayun. Tu fue hun la we lay. Unwinding the whole body. Hano net bayun. One more time. Tu fue hun la we lay. Diheno net bayun. And then humming to it. And holding whatever place calls out to you. Continuing to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Coming back into that beautifully watery substance of remembering what it was like to just float. Now coming out of the room into all of our experiences of water. Bathtubs. Rivers. oceans, streams, lakes, remembering back to all the different memories we might have about water, splashing, laughing, playing. You can let yourself play a little bit. Remember what it was like to go into the ocean for the first time with those big waves. And you can imagine now the waves are friendly and you can be in them, letting them go over you, letting yourself become the wave. You can leap from rock to rock in the stream beds, water ski, anything you remember about being on the water that you loved. Floating on your back, being in an inner tube, playing with other kids. Feeling cooled off. And then coming to rest and letting the sun just shine on you a little bit as you continue to just breathe in deep, rich, full breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Holding, touching yourself again, wherever it feels good. And gently letting yourself swim over to your chair or wherever you'd like to just rest for the next part of the meditation. So just letting yourself find that watery fluid now that you can imagine yourself in, even while you're sitting. There's a certain fluidity about letting yourself just feel the connection. You're totally held by the earth, by your own body, by the chair. You could say that umbilical cord is connected to both the earth, holding us into a connection of stability and ground, and it's also connected to the sky, to the cosmos. So as we breathe in and out, we have connection to both the earth coming from below and then opening to the sky above on that exhale. And finding the heart in the middle, that place you can rest. Your own watery, fluid-filled area that you can just be in. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. And I'll let Raphael take you through the rest.
So just imagine your breath flowing in and out, your chest soft and porous, the heart on the left side, your breath flowing in and out, and just gently bringing your loving attention to your physical heart, to the sacred space of your heart. If there are any thoughts or parts that pull you away, inviting them to join you just gently or to step aside as you keep bringing your attention to your physical heart. Perhaps if you want, you can do whatever breath, or you can continue the water breath, just bringing awareness, loving attention to your physical heart, that space inside your body. Perhaps you feel its pulsations, or you just imagine that sense of presence in your heart. And as you stay there, really allow yourself to open to some place of nourishment, of peace, of beauty, of harmony in the sacred space of your heart. Perhaps like me, it's a beautiful garden, or some place you've known from your past, or some place you've read about going to, or some place you've experienced deep in meditation or a dream. But allowing yourself to just go with your inner senses, with the eye and the ear, the nose, the tongue, the touch of the heart. Just allowing yourself to wander, to familiarize yourself, to be present with whatever form this beautiful sacred space is arising inside your heart. As you do that, just listen, let the words of this invocation just float by and through you. We invoke the One whose body is the cosmos of the galaxies and our own bodies, whose mind courses through our thinking, and whose ecstasy arouses our acts of glorification, whose personality is customized as our personalities, whose presence is always here, whose consciousness is focalized as our consciousness, and whose reality is beyond our mind's reach. Take another minute or so to really just find a place of rest, of nourishment in the sacred space of your heart today. As you see, feel, or hear, whatever senses, or just imagine, just pretend with your intention to open to your heart into a sacred place of nourishment, peace, and healing. And in this place, with all love and all respect, call upon High Self, this inner dwelling spirit of guidance, the angel of your being, an animal ally, a wise presence, whether you see or feel or hear. Just welcome in, open to the presence of High Self, and knowing that the sacred space of your heart, any forms that arise, are a manifestation of this High Self, nourishing, holding, providing that inner refuge for you. Just take a moment to really, High Self, we ask you to come for a time of communion, a time of guidance, a time of dialogue, but beginning by just opening to the presence of High Self, breathing in light, love, light, nourishment, breathing back gratitude, love. And then we open to any guidance from you, High Self, to help us find this soul child, to help us nourish, heal. How can we create space, time, the right conditions aside from our intention? Just give us any guidance about opening to this place of the soul child that dwells deep within each of us, in our bodies, in our hearts, in our minds, in our feelings. And then you can stay with that, or if you wish, you can welcome in, calling with all love and all respect, the soul child or soul children, all these selves or parts that had such a sense of curiosity, innocence, delight, play, the place deep behind all the injuries, the trauma, that spark of innocence, so close to our animal nature, so close to the source, so close to essence. Just welcoming in your soul child in whatever way, shape, form they appear, or is that felt presence today. And then we ask you, beloved soul child, to just share whatever you wish to share, but especially memories and times that were times of play, innocence, curiosity that were just nourishing, times of love, of harmony, of beauty, of nourishment. We'll just spend a few moments just sharing with you those times. You can share and let us know through image, through sensation, feeling, thoughts about these times when you could just relax and play and delight in life. Letting your other selves know there's nothing to do, nowhere to go, but relax and be with soul child. Sharing these memories. And just feeling, just delighting in the innocent, the pure heart of this self or these selves. If a memory comes up, just let yourself relax into it, to savor. Perhaps even feeling the light, the luminosity of this soul child. So close to that white rose. Know that you can never share these memories with soul child enough. They're beautiful times to reflect on, to share, and just open for a moment with soul child. We invite you. What do you need from us? How can we help? How can we support you? How can we play? How can we join with you? What would you like from us? Perhaps just remembering this world of wonder and joy, these times of amazement. And really inviting soul child to be present with high self, with you as conscious self. Just breathing together, just feeling the presence of each other's company. And we invite any wounds in soul child or around, or there's one that's wounded, to just continue to bring this light and love. One who it may not have been okay to relax and to enjoy these wonderful moments. And was alone and scared and couldn't relax, but bring one aspect of the wounding or oneself into your heart, just really feeling them in your body. And just seeing if you open to them, seeing what you feel. Anything other than love or respect, asking that one to move aside, but bringing that curiosity, compassion, love, respect to this one. And just open to whatever they wish to share. You can breathe into that, like that Tu Vui Hun at the beginning. And you can find out how you can support them, but being present with them and letting them know they're not alone. You're here now. Just letting them share and opening to however you can support them. Just letting the light, the love of high self, of the soul child, be with you as you hold this wounded aspect, bringing it whatever it needs. Letting it know that everything, the woundings, the protective levels, they're all just part of the beautiful story of you that can all be held, known, healed. Like that water, rocked and nourished, but each little part, each little piece, each little grit can form a pearl of compassion and love for this part inside, and then bringing that compassion and love to all those outside. So as you're in your heart, just feel the presence of all of us together, where we're through space, different time zones. Just feel the presence of all our high selves gathered here for a moment. And add to that the presence of all of our soul child or children. And then welcoming in all the wounded parts too. We're all held in this huge field that we create together. And we're all present, supporting each other in our healing and growth. And we'll bow once to our inner life, singing the Tu Vue Hun, and then we'll come up in your own time, in your own way, back to whatever space you're in, fresh, refreshed, alive. So bowing, breathing down. Tu Vue Hun La Wile De Non Net Bayun, and rising up slowly. Tu Vue Hun La Wile De Non Net Bayun. And I invite you, Yaya and I will continue to sing it. If you wish, as you come back, you can open your eyes and we can all sing it to each other. Tu Vue Hun La Wile De Non Net Bayun. Tu Vue Hun La Wile De Non Net Bayun. One more time. Tu Vue Hun La Wile De Non Net Bayun. Now you can take a moment to just reflect on your journey today. I always want to be careful not to say this morning, because it's not always a morning for everybody, but today. And you can stretch or write or reflect inside.